Have you noticed how fast things change in business nowadays? Companies can be on top of the world 1 minute and then lose their mojo just like that. Hey everyone, my name is Sohail Abbasi and welcome to the Innovation Factory podcast, your one-stop shop for all things related to startups, innovation, and entrepreneurship. Today, I'm going to talk about the innovation lifecycle and why it is so important for businesses to invest in innovation at the right time. Nobody can be the best forever because the competition is fierce and they are always coming up with new cool stuff. The rivals catch up fast and they work hard to come up with new products or services that kick those of the market leaders to the curb. Nokia and BlackBerry are prime examples of this. They used to be the top dogs in the mobile phone world. But then the iPhone and Samsung smartphones took the world by storm and knock them down a peg. But why does this happen all the time? Why Nokia, with more than 1 billion phones in the hands of humanity in 2007, loses everything to Apple and Samsung?
There are many ways to communicate. The new Nokia Communicator lets you choose the one that's best for you. It's a mobile phone and email, the internet and a fax, all working together.
Was it because they didn't have enough resources? Or was it because they did not have fancy R&Ds? Or maybe they didn't invest enough in innovation? I'm sure that's not the case. So what was it? Well, the main reason is that although companies like Nokia do invest in innovation and new technologies, they invest at the wrong time. One way to explain this is by thinking about the innovation lifecycle using the famous S-curve that's used for technology. The innovation lifecycle is basically the journey of a new idea, product or service from start to finish. It's a way to show the different stages of innovation from when an idea is first born to its eventual replacement by another innovation. It is also known as the S-curve of innovation, as it resembles an S-shaped curve when plotted on a graph. It has 4 stages: emerging, growing, maturity, and decline. The first stage of the innovation lifecycle is the emerging stage, where the idea or technology is in the early development and has not yet been widely adopted. This is typically the stage where the most resources are needed, as the idea or technology may not be well understood and there may be significant challenges to overcome. The growth stage follows the emerging stage, where the idea or technology begins to gain traction and sees rapid growth in adoption and usage. This is usually the stage where the most profit is generated, as the idea or technology becomes more widely accepted and used. The maturity stage is the next stage, where the growth of the idea or technology begins to slow down and eventually reaches a plateau. At this stage, there is still a significant market, but is no longer growing rapidly. Finally, the decline stage is the last stage of the innovation lifecycle, where the idea or technology begins to lose market share and eventually becomes obsolete. This is typically the stage where the least profit is generated and the market for the idea or technology has diminished. Understanding the innovation lifecycle is important for companies to make informed decisions about when to invest in innovation as well as when to divest from declining innovations and reinvest in emerging ones. Now that we know what the innovation lifecycle is, let's talk about why it is so important to invest in innovation at the right time and when is the best time to invest in innovation. Well, when it comes to investing in innovation, the best time to do so is at the early stages of the game. I am talking about the beginning of the S-curve here, where things start out slow and you need to put in a lot of resources. It's a good idea to invest in innovation during the early stages of the S-curve because the rate of return is still increasing. But let's be real. Investing at this point can be risky because it takes up a lot of resources, patience, and perseverance. But the upside is that investing at this stage gives you more time to develop your innovation and build a competitive edge that can stand the test of time. As an innovation reaches its peak and starts to slow down, it becomes harder to squeeze any more value out of it. So, to stay ahead of the game, companies need to invest in new innovations and start new curves before the old ones dies out. By doing so, they can keep their edge and keep delivering value to their customers. The successful companies are always looking for new innovations and trying to ride the innovation S-curve as much as they can. They try out new technologies or use existing ones in new ways to start a new curve before the current one has reached its peak. Unfortunately, there have been many examples of failed investment in innovation at the wrong stage. Here are a few. Kodak was a pioneer in photography industry, but they failed to keep up with the digital revolution.
How much is this moment worth?
Moments.
$100?
Moments.
1,000?
These are the moments.
The moments of your life are priceless. Are you saving them on the right film? Kodak Gold. No other film gives you truer, more consistent color, picture after picture.
Despite having the resources and the technology, Kodak invested in digital imaging at the wrong stage and ultimately failed to compete with new players like Canon and Nikon.
Imagine the perfect video store. It would have a great selection, right? Right! Over 10,000 videos. 3 evening rentals, so no rush, no hassle. Fast checkout. 24-hour quick drop return. Open late every night. Well, the perfect video store
Welcome to Blockbuster Video.
is popping up all over the country. There's one near you.
Blockbuster Video. Wow, what a difference.
Blockbuster was once the dominant player in the video rental market, but failed to recognize the potential of online streaming services like Netflix. Although they invested in new technologies, it was too little, too late. Another example is Yahoo.
Do you, Yahoo?
They were once the top search engine on the internet, but they missed out on mobile and social media. They invested too late in mobile and failed to capitalize on social media trends, which eventually led to their downfall. On the other hand, Apple is a perfect example of a company that stayed ahead of the curve by investing in new technologies and creating new product lines all the time. They started with the iPod and dominated the music player market. Then they revolutionized the smartphone industry with the iPhone. Later on, they introduced the iPad, which created a new market for tablet devices. By continuously innovating and staying ahead of the S-curve, Apple has managed to create a sustainable competitive advantage and remains the leader in the tech industry. These examples show that it is crucial for companies to keep up with emerging trends and invest in innovation at the right time. Companies need to be flexible and monitor the market closely to identify new opportunities and invest in them. To sum up, the best time to invest in innovation is during the early stages of the S-curve, when the rate of financial return is accelerating. Don't forget that investing in innovation during this stage is risky and requires a lot of resources and patience. Successful companies are those who are trying to spontaneously take advantage of the continuous innovation curve. They try to use new technologies or converge and combine existing technologies to start new curves before the current curve reaches its peak. Companies that do not want to risk their survival must constantly surf on top of the innovation S-curve, ensuring they are always at the forefront of new innovations. That's a wrap for this episode. I hope you enjoyed it and found it useful. Please help me spread the word and share the Innovation Factory podcast with your network. Until next time, let's make the world a better place through innovation.